Namaskar, svagate. Coming in nice and warm with another story. We're going to try to keep this. Actually, you know what? I don't even care. I don't care how long this goes. I just felt like the 40-minute ones were a long time, but anyway. Randomizer. Boom. Mischief. I got Mischief. I don't even know what to say about this. Mischief. Okay. Let's just go. Stupid stuff I've done. Stupid. When I was a kid with Airy Baby, and you know, I think I did mischief with every one of the friends, but we'd do stupid things like whip rocks through windows and stuff of people's houses. I remember this one time, I'm just sneaking through, and I was with this one. Okay, we'll call this guy Popsy Boy. So Popsy Boy, and we'll call this other girl Glucose. So we got Popsy Boy and Glucose and DeVonQi, and we're hanging out for some reason. You remember those days when you would hang out? I don't know, maybe not everyone remembers those days, but there's days when you just hang out with a certain person and never hang out with them again. That was like Glucose. I don't know. Anyway, so we're just hanging out randomly. It's just like, I don't know how we got to hanging out this one random day. And it's just like, who had whose number and called, like, I don't know how like we all converged. Anyway, but we're all chilling. And we're doing dumb stuff. I remember we're doing dumb stuff. I don't remember what kind of dumb stuff we're doing, but I'm just like, I'm going to throw a rock through a window, because I think Popsy Boy one day threw a rock through a window and I was inspired. Oh, yes. There was this car. We were in elementary school. This is like grade 7. Grade 6 maybe. But I think more 7, because I remember grade 7 was the ultimate. Grade 7 was literally the peak of mischief. And then grade 8 was when it was just like fizzling out. And then high school was when it was just like a nice middle ground of being stupid and being smart or wise or whatever. And then not really like doing mischief to hurt others, but doing mischief to yourself with psychedelic drugs and stuff. But anyway, there was this car in the parking lot of, it's called the Green Building. There's the Green Building and the White Building, and they're like across the street from each other. And these are across the street from the elementary school we went to. And I don't know if I should name drop elementary school, because I don't know what people do on the internet. But anyway, so yeah, I'm not gonna name drop the school because so it was just this car in the parking lot parked there, and it had been for years, and it was just full of random junk. And it wasn't broken or anything, but it was, I think the tires were flat and it wasn't working. And then one day this guy, we'll call him Ukulele. We'll call him Ukulele. So Ukulele is a grade above us, so I think they're kind of cooler. I'm like, yo, I'm chilling with the grade above us, and it was after school, and I remember I used to get picked up all the time, or take the bus too. But I remember when Mama was like, you're gonna walk home now, and like I felt so big. I'm like, I get to walk home. Like finally I get to like walk with my friends and do what we do and do things that they do, because like I always thought like I was missing out on so much because I had to get picked up or go on the school bus. Finally, when Mama gave permission that I got to walk home by myself, I was so happy. And that's when shit really hit the fan. And I remember ukulele one time we were at that car and he had a spray can or something and he was spray painting the headlights and stuff. And then I'm like, haha, that's so funny and that's so bad and that's so cool. And then he just picks up a rock and just whips it straight into the headlight. And I'm like, oh, and there's like a hill. You go up a hill, a grass hill, and you come down from, it's on the sidewalk. You're walking on the sidewalk and there's like a hill to your right. And it's like a long hill. And then if you go up this hill and go down, that's where the parking lot is. So I'm like running up the hill at the top of the hill, just like about to like dip to the other side of the hill in case, we get in trouble. But ukulele just like walking like, cool guys, don't look at explosions. When he whipped it into the headlight and he turned around and he was like, cool guys, don't look at explosions. I'm like, yo, this guy's so gangster, bro, he doesn't care. And then he just goes back, he gets a bigger rock and he whips it right into the windshield. And I just, nowadays it doesn't seem so intense, but that day, when I was a little 6th grader, 5th grader, whatever the heck I was. I think 7th grader probably. Yeah, 7th grader. I thought the grade 8s were cool. Holy crap. That was crazy. Like I thought we killed someone. I'm like, dude, are we going to be okay? And then I kind of got the gist that that's just an abandoned car. And then from that day on, ukulele was the inspiration to destroy that car like Street Fighter. So every day after school, we would Street Fighter that car for 30 seconds, like, get it, put, get, Shoryuken, Sonic boom, Yoga flame, Shoryuken, Haruken, dun, 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 dun. And then one day, well, I was going too hard right there, but the next day, we go to that car, and Popsy boy sees it, and he's like, "Oh shit!" So we go and we're looking in it, and he's trying to open the door, and I think the door was open, but then he closed it again because it was just a bunch of junk inside. And then I remember he just picked up another rock, and he this time whipped ukulele wasn't there, but he whips it through the side window. And it was loud and it looked cool and the glass just turned green and fell. Like we were like hyping about it. We were like talking about it. We're like, did you see how the glass just like turned green? Like it stayed in the same position. The window was just flat. The rock went through it. The window still stayed flat, but was like a million pieces. Then it just fell like a cartoon. And then we eventually broke every window on that car. And eventually we had like fart bombs or like it was like this fart bomb, you press the middle and it expands and then blows up. And we had something else. I think it was a firework or something like that. Firecracker. I don't think it was a firecracker now that I think of it. I'm pretty sure it was one of those fart bombs. And then we'll call this other guy who we used to think was the bad kid. I didn't really think this kid was a bad kid. I used to think he did more mischief than us, but I think everyone else thought he was, I don't know. Maybe it was just what I thought. But then as I grew up, I was like, oh, we're just all stupid. We all don't do that much bad stuff. We just thought we were doing bad stuff, but when you look back at it, it wasn't that bad. It was just stupid mischief that little babies do. And then, so we'll call this kid Private or Sergeant. We'll call this kid Sergeant. So Sergeant opens the gas tank, and he pops one of these fart bombs, and he puts it in and closes it. I don't know if it was a fart bomb. It was something that blows up. And when he puts it in and closes the glass tank, you just hear from the top of the building, somewhere on the balcony, you hear, "Hey, get the go away from that car!" And I'm sprinting. I'm sprinting up this hill, and I'm sprinting down this hill, and Sergeant is just walking. He's power walking, but he's walking. And Airy baby's there, you know, and Popsy boy's there. We're all running, and then it blows up, and it's loud, and I don't know. I guess the guys is like, "What the f- did these kids do to that car?" This car got f***ed up, and eventually it disappeared. So, but that was where I got the taste of blood to like destroy stuff from. Well, I used to destroy stuff in my house as a kid, like, you know, toys, but that car was where I got the taste of blood to destroy things outside of the house. So we would whip rocks through windows, random people's house. I gotta go back to that story where I was with Glucose and Popsy Baby, and we're walking down the trail of the park. This is like, you know, months later, or maybe not even months later. I don't know. Time seemed slow back then. It seemed like it could have been 3 weeks later or a month later, but it seemed like it was years later. And there's a bunch of houses across the river, and I jump across the river on these rocks, and I go, and there's all these backyards of these houses, and they're just open backyards, like anyone could go if they want to. And Popsy Baby and Glucose had already left, so I was just like, I'm gonna do this by myself. I'm gonna break a window by myself. So I pick up a rock, and I'm pretty far from this window. Like, it's like, I'm not gonna make a measurement. Maybe I'll make a comparison. Halfway in the middle of the halfway line and the goal of a soccer field. So halfway of half. And I have this big rock from the river in my hand, and I looking at this skinny rectangle window in this backyard, and I'm like, whip. And in my head, I'm like, I'm probably not going to hit it. Straight through, directly through. And I've had 2 experiences with this where the second experience I had was way farther, like double the distance through between. Anyway, I won't jump to another story, but when you're throwing a rock through a window, your aim becomes a predator missile. Maybe I just had that. I don't know. But that happened. I got lucky. I whipped it and went right through. And I didn't start running yet, but like I ducked into the trees and the bushes, and I started like slowly walking away from the house. Or like I'm sneaking through like a ninja. Like I'm like sneaking through the little jungle, little bush, foresty park, because it was like the park trail, and then the river, and then a bunch of trees and bushes, and then people's houses. You come out of the clearing, and it's like backyards. So anyway, I throw the thing, boom. I go back into the bushes. I'm sneaking away, and then I'm looking, and I hear a voice. Some old man comes out, and he's like, "Hey, what the fuck are you fucking throwing fucking rocks at my fucking window? I'm gonna fucking call the fucking police!" And I'm just running as fast as I can. And I get out of the clearing. I turn to the left. I go down the park, like the side, whatever the heck, to get back into the neighborhood, not on the park trail, but back into like the sidewalk and the streets. And I'm just running and running and running and running until I'm tired, and I just start walking because I'm tired. And then I hear a car driving up behind me. This is the daytime, and I'm like, don't look. And this car's just driving. I'm like, don't look, but I hear it, and then it just starts slowing down. I could hear it slowing down, and it's like gonna stop right beside me. Like, oh no, don't look, don't look, and it just slows down and it stops. And I'm like, don't look, don't look, don't look. I just can't help it anymore. I look, and it's turning left. And I'm like, holy shit! And then I start running again because I'm just like, that was too trippy. Like, I don't know, maybe that was them. And then a huge line of marathon bikers just turn the corner or not turn the corner, actually come straight across the intersection. And I'm like, that's my perfect escape. So I just start sprinting as fast as I can to get in between the bikers and cross them, because cars will have to stop for them. So I'm like, if I get past that biker line, if the person gets in their car and starts trying to come find who threw their walk, they're gonna have to stop at this biker line. Anyway, that was one story. Another window breaking story. I'm in high school, and I think I'm leaving Gusty Baby's house, or I'm going to Gusty Baby's house. Either one. I think I was going to Gusty Baby's house, but I'm walking down, and I'm about to get to his street, but for some reason I'm like, yo, I'm gonna throw a rock through a window right now. I pick up a rock because actually that's probably why I thought that, because there's a huge line of rocks, fist-sized rocks on the ground, pink fist-sized rocks. And then I'm like, dude, these are perfect window breaking rocks. So I picked one up, and I turn to my right, and there's a house to the left, a house to the right, and the little alleyway in between the house, and then there's a house on the other side, and there's a window. The perfect window. It's like an iron sight. The two houses on either side make the back of the iron sight, and the alleyway right in between. And then there's a window right there, like right in the middle of the alleyway, like across the street on the other side behind these houses. And I just, as hard as I can, I'm like thinking about CC plus games or whatever the heck those were, the math games where you have to do the angle and the power. So I'm like, angle 46.3 degrees, power 77%. And I whip the rock at this little square window right through. I'm like, yo. And like, this window is far enough that I don't even have to like worry to like run, or if anyone's gonna come out and find me. Like, this house is like across the street behind these two houses. So like, if anyone came out, they'd have to come all the way around to where I am. Anyway, so I just like, what the fuck? I actually threw it through the window. And then I'm just walking. I just start walking casually, because Gusty Baby's house is literally a minute or 55 seconds of a walk right there. And I tell him about it, and he's like, yo, you did that. He was like very disappointed. And let's throw in another mischief story. What's another mischief story? Gusty Baby at one point threw a rock through a window too. We were drunk as idiots. There was Gusty Baby was there. I think Airy Baby. I don't know if Airy Baby was there. There was Vel. Zoravel. We'll say Zoravel. There was the packaging company sisters. Package and Co. And we were all just chilling out. And then Gusty Baby was just like filled with rage and whipped the rock through a window. I guess this turns into all the windows we've broken story. And this was like the closest anyone, actually, well, of a house. He was like right up to the window and just whipped it right through. And then turned around and walked away like with a mad face, like, yeah, you fuck. And we're all just like, what the hell, bro? Nuh-uh. The police. People break windows. And then there was this other time where it was nighttime and we're all pissed drunk, drinking beers on the streets. We got like Gusty Baby. We got like who knows who else. Billy Bats was probably there. Del Sorte was probably there. Uh, Other people. We'll call this one guy Gino. We got Gino. We got Adult. We got Gino and Adult. We got I don't know. There was some people there that I don't remember ever chilling. It's called Mischief that I have done and others have done.